Look at what I've got in my hand, Jason. A fresh bottle of our Girvan 33, which we are releasing, if memory serves, on Thursday, November 21.
Yeah,
Yeah.
1990, right? You say that number 33 there. 1990, 33. Something is not adding up here.
Oh man.
Holy macaronis.
Yeah, 1990. I was a junior or a senior in high school, not of drinking age.
Oh, a junior or a senior in
Yeah, I
1990?
mean, I graduated. No, it must have been a senior, right? No. Yeah, I finished junior year in 1990 and started senior year in 1990 and ended my senior year in 91.
Which makes perfect sense. Just when you said you were a junior or a senior, I figured you had to be both because of how the calendar works.
Yeah. Yep. Anyway, enough about high school. Let's talk about whiskey here. Oh,
1990, Nirvana Smells Like Teen Spirit came out.
it
Or
does.
Nevermind the album came out.
Yeah, exactly. Oh, I
We've had
remember
this conversation.
we have. Yeah.
Old grain. Old grain.
Yeah, I think, please correct me if I'm wrong, Jason. This isn't
I'm
the
eager.
oldest. I know you are. This isn't the oldest grain that we released on the website. I think we released a 46-year-old Invergordon, or maybe
It's
45.
Some people remember it as a 1974 Invergordon.
Ah, that's right. Yeah, back when
Mm,
old people were born, Jason.
I tell you, man. Yeah, 1990s getting as long ago as 1974. Don't think that's how the
Ah,
calendar works, but here we are.
yeah. So, so what are we talking about here? It's 33-year-old single cask, all 33 years in a refill bourbon barrel. But look at the color on that. And the official color we call it is extra virgin olive oil, but doesn't
Yeah,
that
it's always one of
green?
those
Yeah.
funny ones, right? So I'm pulling from the original sample, but there's the color of that volume of liquid, and there's the color of that volume of liquid.
Yeah, right.
But with that said, we always pour it into glass,
Yeah,
and then we hold our glass, and so yeah, see even there, yeah, you're
yeah. I think
showing
my
a
camera's just a little bit darker.
little
I
darker.
think that's it. Yeah,
Yeah,
it's your
just look
white
at
hair,
that. That
Jason.
I know, right? There you go. You need a piece of white paper? I got white hair right here. There you go. Look at that.
Ugh.
Beautiful.
So 33 years in a refill bourbon barrel, bottled at natural cask strength of 51.7, and only 118 bottles out this cask, Jason.
Hmm. Give us the strength again.
51.7.
Yeah, that's a good number for 33 years old. Oh, there's the texture. I know we haven't even talked about the nose yet. I just wanted to
Yeah.
experience it across the palate, but the oils in there, the texture is delightful.
The nose
Oh,
is it's
mm,
vanilla ice cream, right? It's like candied orange peels and
man.
something chocolatey going on in there as well.
Man, 1990, I lived, gosh, 10 minutes, 15 minutes from this distillery.
Oh wow. Wow, that's very
Yeah,
cool. You could probably
yeah.
smell the production in town, right?
Yeah, we were a little bit too far up the coast, but yeah, whenever you drove down towards it, you smelled the distillery before you saw it.
Okay.
And
Okay.
in 1990, it was a large grain distillery. It's only gotten bigger since then. It's phenomenal driving the Ayrshire coast now
Mm.
and seeing the size of Girvan. There's now a single malt distillery inside the grounds of this grain distillery.
Yeah.
Um, the casks are endless, sitting outside. And while my brother is not a whiskey drinker, we'll get him there one day. He's only 43. We'll get him there one day. Um, yeah, he gets some of his firewood from the Girvan Grain Distillery. He'll go down with the works van, he
Oh
and
yeah.
his
Yeah.
business partner, and they load it up with used staves, and they get it cheap as chips sometimes. They're just happy if you take it away. And so he loves the smell of these staves burning in his wood burning stove in his living room.
Oh
He's
man.
so close to drinking whiskey. He's so
So
close.
close. Man.
Ah, one
This
day,
is
one day.
so I had to experience the texture Well, you were
right?
talking about Murray's fire burning habits there, wood burning habits, but like if the nose was like going to an ice cream shop and getting, a vanilla ice cream sundae with the works, the palate is just honeyed and just like a bit floral and kind of dank, a bit of papaya, a little bit of like licorice going on. Like it's running the gamut, man.
Which I think is an interesting transition from the nose to the palate. If you think of our Invergordons, Invergordon is known for being so vanilla forward, and vanilla ice cream gets mentioned for Invergordon. I've always thought of Girvan being a bit more even orange gumdrop, a little bit spicier,
Mm-hmm.
even a little bit heavier than Invergordon in terms of palate, in terms of flavor profile. So when you then
Yeah.
transition to the palate and you start talking about those heavier notes, that then becomes a familiar Girvan to me. But you
Mm.
could sit and sip this of a festive evening.
Oh man.
Yeah, that's really tasty.
Yeah, the citrus, that sort of orange spice that you're talking about is really popping on the nose after I took a couple of sips and it really comes out even more. It kind of
Yeah, there's a
overtakes that
there's a
sort of
one. I would
vanilla
almost
creaminess.
Yeah, I would almost go with a vanilla bean to the nose as well. Like it's
Mm.
got that weight to it. Once you return to it from the palate, gosh, it's bright and rich and fresh. How's our flavometer look on this?
Yeah, so here we go. You're gonna like this for a grain,
Mmm,
right? So we've got, let me see if I can
look at
focus
that.
here. Yeah, so 4 for floral, 7 for both sweet and rich, 2 for
Mm,
nutty, 4 for spicy, 3 for earthy, 1 for smoky, which means none, right? And then
Interesting.
6 for oaky, right? For refill bourbon, you're getting that good oak integration in with that Girvan spirit.
Yeah, I would bring you back to that number one for smoke for a second. I think sometimes that number one is the char representation. And I think
Yeah.
the cask is represented in here. Refill bourbon, but 33 years. And again, right, I'll shake this up a little bit, but
Oh
it's
yeah,
got a
yeah,
little bit
yeah,
of the snow globe quality
yeah,
in the
yeah,
cask sample there.
yeah.
And so I think there is a little bit of the char in here after those 33 years.
Mm,
However, with a number one, it's low, it's minimal, it's subtle, it's
yeah.
just a note amongst many, many other notes. It's the triangle in the orchestra, except the triangle
Yeah.
becomes a little more noticeable.
Yeah. The
But this is me just
finish.
poured a second.
All right, right? Because it's that good. Um, I poured a hefty first, so I'm still working
There
on
you
that.
go.
But the finish,
Oh, yeah.
it's back to, and I know I mentioned this in
Oh,
when we wrote our official tasting notes, but the finish gets to that key lime pie that I just love, and just like drizzle some melted chocolate on there, and get a bit more of that oak coming through. And man, this is just singing,
yeah, it's not a thing we often say about grain, but it's a little Moorish. Right?
right?
When you've had
Yeah.
that kind of rich dessert at the end of a meal, you go, "Ooh, that's a little Moorish." Um, this has got a little touch of that to it.
But part of me thinks that given the low out turn on this, 118 bottles, that's part of the reason the color is so dark. That's part of the reason we're getting so much of that oak. And I think that oak is helping to provide some of that texture here, I would argue. But I
Yeah,
could be
no,
wrong, right?
yeah, no, I wouldn't disagree with that. I know that driving down the coast, you could smell the corn in the air. It was like driving
Mm,
by a popcorn factory.
yeah,
It was so sweet in the air. But
yeah,
like we always say, wheat and corn are commodities. They have adjustable commodity pricing. When you're buying your commodity for the upcoming years, you buy the cheapest you get, you
yeah.
column distill it for a mixed mash bill, and then you sit on it for 33 years. Then it turns into something magical. Yeah, I love that.
Oh man,
I love that.
I'll tell you what's magical is the price on this. So 33, look at you. I'll tell you what's magical, the liquid that just went down your gullet.
Empty
Um,
hands.
33 years, all in the same cask, 51.7% alcohol,
Good
only
strength.
118 bottles. I would argue 117 bottles because this one's mine.
Checks out.
And at only $255 a bottle for a 33-year-old whiskey, that, my friend, is magical. That, my friend, is a steal of a price for this whiskey.
Yep, yep. Let me give you the label and then we'll get out of here. A multi-layered dramming experience that rewards repeated visits. Take your time, really pay attention to this Moorish older grain whiskey. Decadent desserts meet bright citrus with hints of warm spice and menthol. Only begins to describe this delectable taste experience. Go buy some. November 21, 255. Cheers.
Cheers.